Okay, let's start Namo Karman Samyak, okay?
Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ariyanam, Namo Vajjayanam, Namo Loe Sahunam.
Esto Panchinamo Kayaro.
So Bhavpanasana, Mangalanancha Soisin, Mangalanancha Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Yes, very nice. Okay, so today, do you guys have attend the classroom class also, like Google Classroom class also, level 2? Did you guys attend that? Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute. Yeah. So do you guys know what is Navda Bhakti? Have you guys read the Navda Bhakti? You did in Samyak? Navda Bhakti? And Kavya, did you know what is Navda Bhakti?
I forget what it was.
Okay. So I'm going to play the video, okay, for Navda Bhakti. Okay? Just a minute.
Jai Jain children! Do you know our first Tirthankar Adinath Bhagwan? So, after he took Diksha when Bhagwan Adinath went out for Ahar for the very first time, he did not get Ahar for 6 months. Do you know why? Because at that time, nobody knew the right process of giving Ahar to a sadhu. Some people started offering him gold, silver, etc., while others started to call out Maharajji to come to their house to have food. But our Maharajji never go to anyone's house just like that. They are like highly esteemed guests whom we need to persuade in the right fashion to make them arrive at our home for food, for Ahar. And that way, that process of offering Ahar to Jain Sadhu Sadhvi needs to be done with great respect and devotion. 9 ways of showing that respect is called Navda Bhakti. Let's learn about Navda Bhakti in detail. Navda means 9. With these 9 steps, 9 virtues, we pay our respect towards Muniraj and offer them Ahar. We should consider ourselves extremely fortunate when Muni Maharaj comes to our house for Ahar. It's one of the greatest blessings. This is the reason we should give them Ahar with Navda Bhakti. There are 9 processes which we are required to follow while giving Ahar. Those are Pratigrahan or Padgahan, Uchchasan, Pad Prakshalan, Pujan, Namaskar, Man Shuddhi, Vachan Shuddhi, Kaya Shuddhi and Ahar Jal Shuddhi. Our devotion in doing these 9 things while Ahar is called Navda Bhakti. Let's understand these one by one. First comes Pratigrahan or Padgahan, which refers to the gestures we make while calling Muni Maharaj for Ahar at our place. For this, we hold kalash, shrifal and other auspicious things in our hands. We should be wearing clean, washed and untorn clothes which are simple and are not touching the floor. We should be careful not to stand on grass while calling Muni Maharaj for Ahar at our place. Whenever we see Muni Maharaj coming towards our side, we should clearly say, "Hey Swami, Namostu, Namostu, Namostu," And if it is Mataji coming towards us, then we should clearly say, Hey Mataji, Vandami, Vandami, Vandami. And if any Elak or Shullak Maharaji or Mataji is heading towards us, then we should say, Hey Swami, Ichchami, Ichchami, Ichchami. After this, we would say, Atra, Atra, Atra. Tishtha, Tishtha, Tishtha. Which means we are requesting Maharaji or Mataji to stop at our place. Then we would say, Man Shuddhi, Vachan Shuddhi, Kay Shuddhi, Ahar Jal Shuddh hai. By saying this, we are informing Maharaji that the Ahar Jal has been prepared with cleanliness and purity. Once Maharaj or Mataji decide to come to our place, they will come and stand in front of us. After this, we would do 3 circles of parikrama of Maharajji, and while doing this, we can chant Namokar mantra. We should also keep in mind that no living thing or jeev gets hurt by our feet. This way, we call our guest with huge respect and request them to enter our place. After this, we request Maharajji to sit on a heightened stool or pata, which is called as Uchchasan. After this comes Pad Prakshalan, which means washing the feet, in which we keep a big utensil like a plate below the feet of Muni Maharaj and respectfully wash them with pure water. This water is then used as Gandodak by us by applying it on our forehead. Then comes Pujan, in which we do puja of Muni Maharaj with Ashtadravya, in which we praise Muni Maharaj and their qualities. Next comes Namaskar, in which all the people present there for giving ahar to Muni Maharaj join their hands and do Namaskar to the Muni Maharaj by saying Namostu. To Mataji, Vandami is said, while to Elak, Shullak and Shullika, Ichchami is said for doing Namaskar. Then we tell Muni Maharaj that our conscience or man is pure, carrying no pride, jealousy or any other bad feelings. Our vachan or words are completely pure and without any bad language in it. Then comes the Shuddhi or cleanliness of our body, wherein we say that ahar has been prepared keeping in mind the cleanliness of our body and clothes. Ahar is completely hygienic and prepared with utmost care and purity, and we have followed all the rules required in its preparations. Water is pure and its source is either from wells or rainwater. With this, we would request Maharaji to leave his mudra and take ahar from our hands in his hand or anjuli. This way, we show our respect and request Maharaji, with which he leaves the mudra and creates anjuli using his palms to take ahar. As Muni Maharaj is our guest, we are required to politely request him to take ahar at our place. This way, Muni Maharaj starts taking ahar. We have to be very attentive and cautious that the ahar should not carry any jeev like ant, flies, etc. or any strand of hair which may cause antaray or obstacle for Muni Maharaj and prevent him from consuming any food. We should take care that Muni Maharaj is given ahar as per his health. It should be made sure that there is no crowd at the place of ahar and Muni Maharaj takes ahar very peacefully. Okay, do you know why it's considered as a very good karma to give ahar to Maharaj or Mataji? Let me give you an example. You know our 16th Tirthankar Shantinath Bhagwan, right? So before he became Bhagwan, 12 births before he was born as King Shripendra. That time he gave ahar to a Muni Maharaj with Navdha Bhakti, along with his wife Satyabhama. The ahar given by King Shripendra was highly commended and appreciated. This way, Shantinath Bhagwan gave ahar and earned good karma to be born as a human again. And later, he became Bhagwan Shantinath. The same way, Bhagwan Adinath was given ahar by King Shreyansh and his queen. This ahar given by the king and queen got popular even in the heaven. Even devs from Devlok appreciated the king and queen for their act of giving ahar. If a person is unable to give ahar, then he or she should at least have anumodana or appreciate the one who is giving ahar. You can join your hands and at least imagine that you are giving ahar to Muni Maharaj. The ahar is going on without any obstacle, that is in Nirantarai manner. We earn good karma even by imagining and thinking of giving ahar to Muni Maharaj. This way, all of you should give ahar to Muni Maharaj by learning its process. Jai Jinendra!
Yes. So kids, did you like the Navda Bhakti video? Did you understand what is that thing? So how do we invite our Maharajji to our place for food, for everything, right? Do you have any questions regarding this? No? So you guys have to prepare this lesson. This lesson also for Kahoot game, right? Okay. Next lesson we are going to take, it's Shrut Panchami. Okay. Did you guys know about Shrut Panchami? Oh, you have learned all the lessons, Samyak. That's very good. Kavya, that's very good. You also learned the lessons, right? That's very good. So I'm going to put next lesson is Shrut Panchami, okay? Just a minute. Story of Shrut Panchami, okay?
I hope you've been listening to all of our Jai Janendra. I hope you've been listening to all of our stories and learning something new as well. In fact, did you know that long ago, that's just what happened? Teachers would teach all of their students by talking to them about it. Can you imagine that there were no books and nothing was written down? Nothing at all? Everything was learned just from listening and remembering, just the way you are listening to this story. A long time ago, everyone's memory was so strong, and this helped them remember everything that their teacher told them. But if everything was learned through listening and remembering, then where did all the books and scriptures we see about Jainism come from? Well, that's the story of Shrut Panchami. Do you remember the story of Akshay Tritiya and how it's a very special day? Similarly, Shrut Panchami is a very special day in Jainism as well. Do you remember how Tritiya means third? Can you guess what Panchami means? Fifth. Now let's go back in time to learn more. Mahavir Bhagwan did lots and lots of meditation. But what did he get out of this? Keval Jnana, which means super knowledge. He knew everything about everyone. He also knew how every creature or being in the universe could be happy. Now that he knew all these good things, who could he tell them about? He had to tell only someone who was capable of taking all of that knowledge. This special student was Gautam Ganadhar. He was the only one who fully understood everything Bhagwan Mahavir said. So who do you think Mahavir Bhagwan gave his knowledge to? Gautam Ganadhar. Gautam Ganadhar gave all of his knowledge to his students. But how? Did he give them books to read? No, they too just listened and absorbed all of his knowledge. Then his students taught their own students, and all of this kept on happening by talking and listening. Then slowly, all of the students' memories started to dim and become smaller. I'm sure you too don't remember everything that your teacher says, only some things. So the same way, this knowledge finally reached Acharya Dharsen ji. It was passed down from teacher to student for many years. Acharya Dharsen ji knew that if the knowledge given by Mahavir Bhagwan was just spoken the way it was, it would eventually fade away, and no one would remember it anymore. So he thought that we should start writing Jin Dharm into books. But there was a lot of knowledge, and he would need 2 very capable students to help him write it down. From very far away, 2 students came, and their names were Pushpadant and Bhutbali. What were their names? Pushpadant and Bhutbali. Both students bowed down to Acharya Dharsen ji, and Acharya ji gave them his blessings. Acharya Dharsen ji first decided to test if both students really could write down all of that knowledge properly. So he gave them 2 mantras. We all know one's very special mantra, isn't that right? Namokar mantra. So, Acharya ji told both students to fast and meditate with these 2 mantras in a special way. Both students did just that. They fasted and then they meditated. Because of this, 2 goddesses appeared in front of Pushpadant and Bhutbali. Gods and goddesses are like superhumans, and their bodies and features are perfect. But there was something very strange about these 2 goddesses. One of them had very big teeth sticking out of her mouth, and the other goddess was missing an eye. She only had 1 instead of 2. Pushpadant and Bhutbali knew something was up if this mantra caused 2 goddesses, one with a missing eye and the other with huge teeth, to appear. So they looked very carefully at the 2 mantras and saw that one of them was missing 1 letter and the other one had 1 extra. They both corrected their mantras and then restarted the process. Do you think that completing the mantra will help Pushpadant and Bhutbali? Let's see. They fasted and then they meditated, and this time the 2 goddesses that appeared did not have big teeth or was not missing an eye. They were just as they were supposed to be, perfectly flawless. When they told all of this to their teacher, Acharya Dharsen ji was very pleased. Both students had passed the test, and he was confident that he could write down all of the knowledge. He started giving all of his knowledge to Pushpadant and Bhutbali. The 2 intelligent and capable students began to write all of the important things Acharya Dharsen ji said into books. Can you guess what lucky day was the one when they finished? Yes, Shrut Panchami. Shrut means Bhagwan Mahavir's words, and Panchami, as we know, means fifth. Think about it. If Acharya Dharsenji and his students had not written all of this down in books, then what would have happened? We would not have had all of these great books, and everyone would have forgotten by now. But that did not happen. Instead, even if we did forget, we could have just read these wonderful Jain scriptures again. So we will read these important Jain books and scriptures, right? Jai Janendra.
Yeah. So did you guys understand what is Shrut Panchami? Samyak, I can't see you. Can you please come in front of the camera? Yeah. Yeah. So you guys have heard this story before also? Yeah. Okay. So are you guys ready for the next lessons? Yep. So the next lesson we are going to see, we are going to learn about Kalyanaks. Okay. So do you guys know what is Kalyanak and what are the name of the Kalyanaks? Okay. First, Kavya, you tell me the first Kalyanak, first and second Kalyanak name.
Garpa Kalyanak and Nirvan Kalyanak, Jan Kalyanak.
Jan Kalyanak. Yes. And Samyak, the next two?
Top Kalyanak and Gyan Kalyanak.
And the last one is? Last one is?
Books Kalyanak.
Kalyanak. That's very nice. So we are going to learn about the Kalyanaks now, because all these lessons are going to come in tomorrow on Friday's event. Okay, Kahoot. So after learning here also, you guys can see all the videos. They are available in Google Classrooms. Okay. So I'm going to show you. So the first one is Garv Kalyanak. Okay.
Jajinand kids, did you know that there are 5 special celebrations in the lives of the Tirthankar Bhagwan, which are also known as Panch Kalyanaks? I will take you through time travel to give you a walk through all these 5 special celebrations. So let's get started. First, I will tell you about Garab Kalyanak. This celebration starts before the birth of the Tirthankar Bhagwan. Let me tell you about Adinath Bhagwan's Garab Kalyanak celebration. The celebration of all the Tirthankars is pretty much the same. Before being Tirthankar, Adinath Bhagwan's Jeev or soul when in Sarvarth Siddhi state was a Dev or a demigod named Amindra. As his lifespan as a Dev started to reduce, everybody in the universe became extremely excited. Do you know why? Since after completing his life as a Dev, in 6 months, he was going to be born as a human and become a Tirthankar. Indra, or the king of all the gods in heaven, gave permission to God Kuber to build a beautiful city, Ayodhya, in India. God Kuber had a lot of treasure and wealth. Ayodhya was 12 yojan long and 9 yojan wide. Yojan is a Vedic measure of distance that was used in ancient India. 1 yojana is about 12 kilometers. Hence, Ayodhya was 144 kilometers long and 108 kilometers wide. All the 4 sides of the city had a boundary of clean and pure water, which is called as a barikya. It had many colored lotuses blooming on it. And those flowers were so beautiful that its yellow pollen gave the water in the barikya a golden effect, forming a golden coat around the barikya. It was like a huge palace wall outside with super high peaks. There were 4 gopur built around the 4 corners of the court. Gopur are like round, dome-shaped, beautiful structures. Above these skyscraping gopurs, there were kalash, or pots made up of gems and precious stones. Its shine and glow gave an effect that the sun was shining on the gopurs. There are many big and beautiful Jain temples built in the city, which had idols made up of precious gems and stones. There are many clean water ponds as well, which had beautiful lotuses blooming, and bees around these flowers to drink its nectar. This beautiful city of Ayodhya even had Vwapikas. Vwapika is just like a well or a pond, where beautiful birds like huns or swans and sadas, cranes, played. The city was clean and green. It had many gardens filled with fruit trees like mango trees, guava trees, pomegranate trees, and lemon trees. The trees were full of many fruits. The garden also had piles and piles of diamonds and other precious stones and gems. The king's palace, Shikar, was sky high. There were many schools and colleges in the city. Kuber Dev made the city of Ayodhya so beautiful that even Indra Dev's city seemed small in comparison. 15 months before the Bhagwan's birth, there were special rains 3 times a day. And these were no ordinary rains. It rained ratans, or precious gems and stones. Tirthankar Adinath's mother, Queen Maru Devi, was sleeping in her palace on a beautiful bed and saw a beautiful special dream at dawn. Do you know the number of special dreams a Tirthankar mother has when she is pregnant with the Tirthankar? She has 16 special dreams, or 16 swapn. Swapn means dreams. In her dreams, Mata Maru Devi saw an Airavat elephant, a white ox, a roaring lion, Goddess Lakshmi, 2 garlands, Chandra or moon, the rising sun, 2 kalsh made up of gold, 2 fishes playing in a pond, a clean body of water, an ocean with waves, a king's chair made up with precious stones, Viman, or an aeroplane that a Bhagwan uses to travel, Nagendra Bhavan, a place where the Nagendra resides, and a pile of ratans, or precious gems, stones, and diamonds, Agni, meaning smokeless fire, As soon as these 16 dreams were complete, the queen saw in her dreams that a white ox was entering her mouth. The night came to an end when she saw all of these in her dreams. It became an early morning, and the Rajmand, or the temple in the palace, had sounds of Mangal Bajo, or musical instruments and prayers. And the queen woke up, paid her obeisance to the Panch Parameshti, or the 5 supreme beings in Jainism, and started thinking about her 16 special dreams, and started to wonder what the dreams she saw had meant. To understand what the dreams meant, she went to her husband, the king of the place, King Nabiraj, and she told him about her special dreams. King Nabiraj had a special knowledge known as Avadhigyan. This is a super knowledge, which can tell a person about the past, future, and predict other things that are far away. King Nabiraj, with his Avadhigyan, said that the dreams meant that they were going to be blessed with a child who would be powerful, kind, brave, and a compassionate soul. And that the soul had left from heaven and resided in Queen Maru Devi's womb. While in Ayodhya, the king was interpreting the queen's dreams to her. In heaven, King Indra's throne started shaking. King Indra got curious to know why his throne was shaking. He, also with his Avadhigyan, his super knowledge, came to know that Bhagwan Adinath's Jeev, or soul, had entered Queen Maru Devi's womb. When all the gods got to know about this, they all became super happy and excited and came to Ayodhya. They made huge celebrations there and gifted beautiful clothes and jewelry to the king and queen. They congratulated and paid their respects to the king and queen. Throughout pregnancy, there were continuous special rains of precious gemstones and diamonds in Ayodhya. King Indradev immediately sent all Devis from the heaven to take care and to be at service of Queen Maru Devi and sent them to Ayodhya. These Devis were Dev Kumari, Shri, Kirti, Turti, Lakshmi, and Buddhi. Now that the Tirthankar soul had come to Mata Maru Devi's womb, however, the Tirthankar was yet to take birth. Hence, all these Devis would take care of Mata Maru Devi. They used to make sure that he would be safe in the mother, happy and comfortable. While one Devi would do the Mata's oil massage, another would comb her hair. While one would apply perfumed lotion and paste on her, another would make a healthy and tasty meal for her. One would also guard her with the sword day and night, while others would clean her courtyard. And some would dance and entertain the queen and make her happy. Mata Maru Devi did not experience pain throughout her pregnancy, and she remained as beautiful as before. The moment the queen was due to give birth, Mata Maru Devi gave birth to the auspicious baby born. And after all this, the celebration of the one who was going to become the Tirthankar Adinath. Since that, the baby was going to become a Tirthankar, the most powerful and the most pure soul in the universe. Hence, the moment the Tirthankar came to Mata Maru Devi's womb, there were many celebrations that took place. So today, we learned about Garab Kalyanak, that when the baby is born in the mother's womb, the kinds of celebrations that take place. Let's imagine these special celebrations in our mind. and pray that we all get a chance to see these special celebrations, and that we also become a Titankar, won't we? Jejinend.
Okay. So everyone come to know how it's like Garb Kalyana. It's so exciting, right? There are so many things that we come to know.
Yes.
Who is Arnav? Can you please switch on your video?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. No. Oh, yeah.
So Kavya and Samyak, do you have any question regarding Garb Kalyana? No? You guys already did that class, right? Okay. Okay. So Arnav, have you seen this Garb Kalyanak video? The story of Garb Kalyanak?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's move on to the next story, that is Jan Kalyana. Okay. Have you seen that Ratno Ki Barish? It's so good, right? In
Yeah.
Garb Kalyanak. Yeah, it's so amazing, right? Okay. So let's see Janma Kalyanak, how the Tirthankar Bhagwan is born, right? Was born. Okay.
Jejinend, kids. So, in the last video, we saw that when a Titankar Bhagwan's soul comes to the mother's womb from heaven, all the beautiful celebrations that take place. After Garab Kalyanak, what is the next grand celebration? Tell me. To celebrate Janam Kalyanak. Janam means birth, and Kalyanak means the one who will bring about welfare and happiness. After 9 months of Garab Kalyanak, the baby is born, and many deves descend to earth from heaven to celebrate the birth of Bhagwan. These celebrations are called Janam Kalyanak. The baby is born with 3 super knowledges: Matigyan, Shrutgyan, and Avadigyan. The way the flowers bloom when the sun shines in the morning, in the same way, looking at the baby as radiant as the sun, all the Devi's eyes bloom like a blooming lotus. The Titankar baby's aura is so bright that it drives out the darkness from everywhere. Prasutigraha means the birthplace of Bhagwan. The Devis light up the place with beautiful diyas or lamps. The moment the Titankar is born, the universe is filled with happiness. The baby Titankar is so full of virtue and good luck that when he takes birth, for a moment even the Narkis or the beings in hell become happy. There is happiness and joy everywhere. In all 4 directions, the skies become clear, and there's not a single dark cloud in sight. For the celebrations of the birth of Bhagwan, the king of heaven, who was known as Swadharm Indra, and his queen, who was known as Sachi Indrani, seat themselves on a beautiful, huge white elephant known as Airavat Hati to visit and see the baby and celebrate his birth. And along with the Indra and Indrani are all the Devs and Devis of heaven, who dance and sing along all the way to earth. Saraswati Devi plays the veena. Randrav Dev sings, and many Devs and Devis dance along. All the Devs and Devis get involved in the celebrations in their own and different, unique way. After reaching Ayodhya, all the Devs do 3 pradikshanas of the baby's palace. Just like when we do 3 pradikshanas of Bhagwan when we go to the mandir. Sachi goes to the mother's Prasuti Graha, or the birthplace of Bhagwan, and gives her respect and pays her obeisance to the god. She uses Maya, or magical illusion, and replaces the real baby with an illusion of the baby. Then she takes the real baby along with her. Do you know why she takes the baby along with her? For Bhagwan's Janma Abhishek. Outside, all the Devs and Devis eagerly await to see the baby that Sachi Indrani has brought. The moment that Bhagwan comes outside, everybody starts rejoicing and starts singing Jai Ho, Jai Ho. The Titankar baby is so beautiful that Swadharm Indra doesn't seem to just get enough of him with his 2 pairs of eyes. To have a full look at the baby, Swadharm Indra uses his 1,000 eyes to see the baby. Do you know how Sachi Indrani, Swadharm Indra, and all the Devs and Devis celebrate the birth? They take the baby along with them, sitting on an Airavat Hati to Sumer Parvat. There is a big mountain on Sumer Parvat called Sumeru, whose top peak is called Pandukvan. That is where they do the baby's Janma Abhishek. All the Devs and Devis dance and sing along the way for the celebrations. One Dev, to offer his respect, covers the baby with a white umbrella. And 2 Devs dance along with the procession. Pandukvan, which is the highest peak of Sumer Parvat, is where the god's Janma Abhishek takes place in its east direction. There, Sumer Parvat is a very beautiful place, and there lies a beautiful Panduk Shila, or rock, which is made of precious stones named Spatik Mani. This Shila, or rock, is bright and beautiful and resembles the moon. On this Shila, there's where the baby Titankar's Janma Abhishek takes place. There's a long queue of Devs for doing the baby Titankar's Abhishek. Every Dev wants to participate in the Janma Kalyana. This queue of Devs goes all the way from Panduk Shila to the pure ocean. This special ocean is named Shir Sagar. For the baby Titankar's Abhishek, water is filled in kalash, or pots, from Shir Sagar. Do you know how many kalash, or pots, are used for Bhagwan's Janma Abhishek? Bhagwan's Abhishek is done from 1,008 pots full of water. Indra and Indrani and all the Devs and Devis rejoice watching the Bhagwan's Janma Abhishek. They dance and recite different stots, or hymns. All of them consider themselves extremely fortunate and life worthwhile to be a part of this beautiful celebrations. After the celebrations are complete, the baby Titankar is adorned and dressed up with beautiful clothes and jewelry, and is brought back to the palace to his mother. After that, Swadharm Indra performs a special dance form. A special musical play known as Ayodhyat Nattika. King Naharabi very happily celebrates the birth. Swadharm Indra places a special nectar on the thumb of the baby, which is known as Amrit, so that whenever the Titankar baby feels hungry, he can get nectar from his thumb. He doesn't need to drink milk or eat anything. Swadharm Indra, for the service and the help of the baby Titankar, leaves Devs and Devis from heaven in the form of young boys and girls in the palace. In the next video, we'll tell you all about what happens after the baby Titankar grows up and which celebrations take place. Aren't you eager to know about the next celebration, Tap Kalyanak? Jai Jinendra.
Okay. So everyone understand what is Jan Kalyana? Right? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions regarding Jan Kalyana? Just a minute. Just a minute. Just a minute, hold on. I think there's some problem. I'm just going to put the next Kalyanak, Tap Kalyanak, right? Okay, so we'll take one more story, Garbh Kalyanak, and then, sorry, Tap Kalyanak. And then two Kalyanaks will be left so that you guys can learn at home, okay? Because we don't have time, and I'm gonna play one more story for Garbh Kalyanak. Oh, sorry, Tap Kalyanak. Okay.
Kids, now you all must be aware of the 5 special celebrations in the life of the Titankar Bhagwan. Let's recite their names: Garab Kalyanak, Janma Kalyanak, Tap Kalyanak, Gyan Kalyanak, and Moksh Kalyanak. The previous video illustrated the amazing grand celebrations that take place during the pregnancy when the Titankar soul manifests itself in the womb of the human mother from the heavens. Then comes the birth celebrations when the Titankar is born. Today's story is about the adulthood of Titankar Rishabhnath. Adult Rishabhnath becomes the king of Ayodhya. He worked excellently and was committed towards the welfare of his subjects. One fine day, he was sitting with all the ministers of his palace, enjoying the dance of the most beautiful demigod dancer named Nilanjana. During the dance performance, Nilanjana died. However, Nilanjana still seemed like she was dancing. Do you know how? Well, the king of the demigods, Swadharm Indra, sent another beautiful demigod dancer similar to Nilanjana, so that no one found out about the death of Nilanjana. However, Titankar Rishabhnath knew. But how? Well, do you remember that a Titankar has 3 types of super knowledges? Beyond memory, beyond intelligence, and beyond time. So, from that super powerful timeless knowledge, he found out. By analyzing the situation, he felt like the whole universe is unstable. He thought that everyone is mortal, that those who are born will eventually die. So he thought to himself, why shouldn't I work on the enlightenment of my soul? He attained the feelings of being detached from all worldly pleasures. So what is this feeling of being detached? Well, detachment means the feeling of giving up interest in all the worldly pleasures and activities, and to make up the mind to set the soul free of all karmas and become a pure soul. When he was thinking of all this, all the demigods found out. Do you know how? Well, there is a 5th heaven, and there is a special group of demigods called Lokantic demigods. As Rishabhdev attained detachment, the throne of these demigods began to quake and vibrate. Then these demigods arrived near Rishabhdev from the heavens, and Rishabhdev's detachment from worldly pleasures strengthened even more. All the other demigods from the heavens also arrived near Rishabhdev and performed cleansing rituals with water from the Milky Way or Kshir Sagar. Do you know about Kshir Sagar? The Titankar baby was born. The demigods performed its cleansing rituals with 1008 pots of water from the Kshir Sagar. Meanwhile, Rishabhdev declared his elder son Bharat as king and his younger son Bahubali as the prince. Everyone was so happy and excited. On one side of the palace was the incarnation of King Bharat, and on the other side was the celebration of Rishabhdev's penance. Rishabhdev asked for permission from his parents and left towards the jungle for penance in the palanquin. So, kids, did you see that although Rishabhdev was king of Ayodhya, he still respected his parents all the time? Before going anywhere, he always asked them. So, kids, whatever we do, we should always consult our parents first. no one is a greater well-wisher than our own parents. So, Rishabdev's palanquin was decorated with colorful flags, precious gems, and small bells, so that whoever listens to the ringing should participate in this celebration too. Various demigods and people got involved in carrying Rishabdev's palanquin. For the first 7 steps, King Bharat carried the palanquin. For the next 7 steps, the great kings with flying superpowers carried the palanquin. Then, the demigods carried the palanquin. Everyone was feeling so blessed and lucky. Kids, have you ever seen any deity's palanquin being carried by the devotees in the mandir? Same were the feelings of everyone here. Next time, you should also have such feelings of devotion when you see the palanquin of Bhagwan in temple. So, all the demigods cheered, chanting Jai, 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 and were bestowed beautiful flowers from the wish-filling trees or kalpa vruksh, so that it seemed like it was raining flowers. These wish-filling trees are trees that fulfill all our wishes. Gradually, the palanquin reached a nearby jungle. The jungle was filled with the fragrance of flowers. There were small attractive stages where the demigoddesses were performing dances. In the middle of the jungle was a precious moonlit rock arrangement. Rishabdev got off the palanquin and sat on the rock. He saw everyone with a smiling face and removed all of his ornaments and clothes. He also removed his hair from his head. Kids, have you ever seen any Jain Muni removing all of his hair from his head? They don't use scissors, but remove the hair with their bare hands. So, Rishabdev, after removing the hair with his hands, stood facing the east direction and bowed down to the Siddhas and vowed to give up all worldly pleasures. He attained the 4th omniscient knowledge superpower of beyond mind, Man Prayai. We previously told you about the 3 omniscient knowledge superpowers, Mati Gyan, Shrut Gyan, and Avadi Gyan. The 4th is Man Prayai Gyan. In this omniscient knowledge, one can accurately know what is going on in another person's mind. So, this special superpower knowledge can only be attained by saints. So, when Saint Rishabdev began to meditate in the forest, he performed meditation in a standing posture for many days. He remained blissful in meditation. After his long meditation and penance, he achieved something very precious. Can you guess what? To know, you'll have to watch our next video. Jai Jinendra.
Yes. So this was the story of Up Kalyanak, right? So last one is left, Gyan and Moksha. There is only one story for Gyan and Moksha Kalyanak. Do you guys want to see now? So all your revision will be completed for the Kahoot Games event, for that event. If you want to see, I can play right now and you guys can listen this story. And if you want, it's just for 10 minutes. Kavya, do you want to listen? It's for only for 10 minutes.
I will listen it on like my own.
Oh, you'll learn by your own?
Yeah.
Yeah, same for me. I already watched it.
Sorry. Yes, Kavya?
I'll do it on my own.
Okay, you can do it your own. Okay. And Samek, you want me to play the next story? Yes? Okay. Arnav, you want to see the next story?
No, I've already watched these, so maybe no.
Okay. So
Thank you.
yeah, I know you watched your stories, but this is just a revision class. So we are taking
Okay,
a revision.
maybe I'll watch it on my own.
You'll watch your own? Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye. Jai
Thank you.
Jinesh.
Bye. Jai Jinin. Samya, so you can watch your own. The next story. Okay. Okay. Let's say a Mukar month and we'll complete our class today. Okay. We'll end our class. Okay. Namo Arihantaram, Namo Siddharam, Namo Ariyanam, Namo Vajayanam, Namo Loe Savya Sahuram, Eso Panchadamo Karo, Savya Pavak Parasaro, Mangladam Cha Savvesim, Padmam Havai Mangalam. बोलो 24 तीर्थंकर भगवान की जय. Okay, so Samyak, just revise the last story and you're done for your Kahoot games event. Okay, you know this event is going on, right, on Friday and on Sunday, right, and you can dress up also. You can ask your mommy or daddy to see the event, what are the rules and everything. Okay, is that clear, Samyak? Do you understand? Yes. Okay then.